Okay, so let's look at counting techniques. We'll read this question, and there's technically two parts. This is the end of part one, and then the last sentence is our second question they'll ask us. We have 9 players who want to play on a team, but only 3 positions. All right? So how many different ways can we create this team? So there's our question number 1, and we'll start with that, and then we'll come back to read part 2. So we'll call this number 1. We'll build kind of a tree diagram to help us with this. It said we have 9 players, right? So 9 players. So we have 3 positions, and actually we'll set those up as blocks. So we'll call this our first position, our second position, and our third position. Okay, so I'm not sure what kind of sport team this is, but we can only take 3. We have 9 guys who want to play, or 9 girls who want to play. So how many options do we have for the first position?
10.
Well, there's only 9 people. So we'll start with only 9. I think you're thinking of like 0 to 9. Yeah. That's common with these questions. I'll ask you how many digits are possible. So there's 9 total players here. Okay, but once we choose the first player, no matter who it is, that person is already selected.
Yeah.
So how many options do we have for the second player then?
8.
8. That's right. Okay, and with that same idea, okay, and the same players again. How many options will we have for the third position?
7.
That's right. Okay, so essentially to figure this out, we're multiplying 9 by 8 by 7 to give us our value. And this kind of looks like if you're setting up a diagram, right? You'd have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 options for the first guy. And then once you've chosen that first guy, you have another 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, throw it there, 8, right? So it's kind of going 9 by 8, and then once you've chosen, say, that guy, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 7. And sometimes it's easier to just look at it as a block. But if you were to build a tree, it'd be like that. And what you'd do is once you've extended all of these, you'd count them all. And the number of options there at the end would be this calculation, 9 by 7 by 8.
Yeah.
So let's find out what that is. It's clear. 9 by 8 by 7 gives us 504. So there are 504 different ways you could build this team. In other words, there's 504 different teams you could build with those 9 people. Part 2. What if the team consisted of 6 players? Okay, so more options. How many positions would there be? Okay, so we'll kind of expedite this process since we already know some of the info. We'll do this in purple. We'll call this our part 2. We know that's our first position. How many did it say we're going to have?
6.
6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay, so again, still we only have 9 people who want to play. So how many options do we have in the first one? 9. That's right. And then once that person's chosen, how many in the second?
8.
Okay, and we just continue this. So
7. 6.
Yeah. So it's similar to like a factorial because we're kind of going downwards. The only difference is we don't finish, right? We don't finish with 3, 2, or 1. So it's not quite a factorial. Let's take a look. That was already 9 by 8 by 7. So I could technically take this number and multiply it by 6, 5, 4. I'll show you that. Times 6 times 5 times 4. Then it gives us 60,480 options, so tons. If you're unsure about that, I'll show you again. We'll go right from the beginning. 5, 4, and the exact same number. So we had 60,480 options.